Hey, so if you're watching this video, it's probably because you saw my first video, and I'm really excited that you watched it, whether you watched the whole thing or you watched part of it. That really makes me feel good. And thank you very much. Thank you for subscribing. As I record this video, it's now February 18th at 10:45. I do have 10 subscribers, which is 10 lovely people who I just want to hug and kiss. Um, so I am going to completely ad lib this entire video. My last video was scripted. My house is normally really loud. I have two big dogs that are barky, and I have a husband who's loud, and my whole house echoes. And if you hear sounds in the background, that's life. So I'm going to talk about just, my daily stuff and things that are going on. My big dog Dale is probably going to be walking into the picture. Maybe not. I don't know. And I'm just going to talk to you like I would talk to someone who's sitting on the couch next to me. Yesterday, I had a really fun install with a client. I designed windows for a local business. And, the windows were super drab. It's kind of an older shopping center. And once you saw the sign on the top and you crossed under it, no one could find where the doors were because they were just like nameless. There was no graphics on it. So I designed the graphics that go on the windows. If you want to see them, you can check out my Facebook page, Hello Happiness Design. I think I put it on my Instagram as well. I'm not going to name any projects on this blog, whatever you call it, but you can go check it out on my Facebook. I say a lot of so I'm trying to coach myself on not saying that. So I'm going to try to take a lot of pauses and breathe. A lot of being a designer is being behind the camera. It's never being in front of the camera. For the last 2 decades, I've been directing other people. I've been directing people on photo shoots. I've been directing people on video shoots, and I've never been behind the camera. So in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I've really put myself out there. I did a branding photo shoot of myself. I did a portrait shoot, and you can see some of the pictures that I've posted of myself on my social media. And when you stand in front of the camera, I was like this. I'm like, what do I do? And I told my photographer, I'm like, tell me how to stand. Where do I put my hands? And, I felt like a robot. So, I was trying to like get comfortable in front of the camera, and she's fantastic. I use her for everything, whether it's product photography or people photo shoot, fashion shoot. She's my go-to. And then filming this, I've never filmed anything of myself before. When I was a kid, my parents had a video camera, like the big ones that you hold on your shoulder, and we would take family videos, and never thought anything of that. And, I take little videos with my phone of my dogs and of my kids. And I'm pretty sure no one returns the favor of taking videos of me. It's always the mom that takes the pictures. So I'm putting myself out here for you guys. And I want to teach you and mentor you and tell you all about graphic designs, life's trials and tribulations. So right now I'm working on a project for a company. I'm working on their event. And it's a lot of photoshopping, which I absolutely love. I love designing experiences, and I love designing spaces and renderings. So I'm doing a lot of that right now. Most of the projects I get, everything is referral based. I don't do any marketing. Occasionally I'll boost a social media post if I really like it and I'm proud of it, and I want to see it hit a little bit more than just, my organic audience, but I do not do any marketing at all. Nothing. Zilch. Everything that I do comes from referrals, comes from people who I've worked with, who have mentioned my name to other people, and they call me, and it's been fantastic. It's kept me busy. It's given me a full-time job. And, when you're really good at something, it shows, and it makes people happy, and they're happy to share your information with other people. One of the big marketing things that I did last year was have a booth at a conference. I put a lot of time and effort and work into that. Nothing really came of it except for continuous work from this one client, whose conference it was. And I love working with this client. That's actually who I'm working on right now. And I was hoping for more clients, but I realized that companies, they want to have a personal connection with the people that they contract with. They want to know that who they're hiring comes from, a good place. They want to know that their work is good, and usually that comes from someone else telling them, this is a good designer. I worked with them. Their work is fantastic. It's just like going to a hairdresser, right? You see someone who has great hair and you're like, oh my God, where did you get your hair done? I want my hair to look like yours. It's the same thing with design. So I basically sit at my desk in the corner of my living room. You can see behind me my daughter's sewing machine and part of my dining room area, my stairs up above. And I work from home and I enjoy it. I'm a little outgrowing this corner of my house and I'm debating what to do. Might need a closet or something. I'm running out of space. I have piles on my desk and under my desk and around my desk. So I don't know. So one of the cool things that I'm doing this afternoon, I was invited to be a guest speaker on a podcast. So I'm extremely excited about that. And I'm hoping to learn some things that I could use on my own podcast as well. It's going to be completely ad lib. It's going to be conversational. I'm going to be talking about design and branding and things that I'm really passionate about. So I'm really looking forward to it. And the funny thing is here's a silly story. I have never been on a video podcast before, nor a podcast for that matter. And I'm like, what do you wear? So I texted the guy and I said, has anybody ever worn a branded shirt before? And he said, no one's actually worn a branded shirt on my podcast at all. And no one's actually ever asked me that. Of course, it's me that asked that. And I said, well, is it cheesy if I wear a shirt that says Hello Happiness Design on it? And he goes, no, not cheesy at all. Actually, I'll wear my shirt too. So today, both of us are wearing our Hello Happiness shirts. I'm wearing my Hello Happiness shirt. He's wearing his own design agency shirt. So I think that's kind of funny. Just a little humor, I guess. I don't know. It's things you don't really think about, but hey, it's like shameless marketing, right? I just talked about how I don't really market myself, but shameless plug, I don't really have to say it, but it's there. So we'll see how that works out. So some people ask me where does the name Hello Happiness come from? And I did a social media post recently about this, but I'm going to talk about it a little bit more because maybe you're going through this on your own in your personal life or in your work life. And I'm hoping that maybe this helps you. So in the midst of my career, I was working for a company. And I have to start out by saying that every company that I've ever worked for, I've put my entire heart into that company. I cannot work for a company that I don't believe in. That company I have to be passionate about that company because I'm creative and creativity comes from the heart. And, if you don't love the company or the product that the company is selling, you can't be your best. So I came into this company at its early stage. It was a startup and it was in its infancy at the beginning when I first got there. And it was so fun. I was like, this is not real life. Like, this is just the previous company I worked for was extremely corporate. There were cubicles. People ate lunch at their desks. Nobody talked to each other. It was very opposite. So then when I came to this company, everyone worked in a room together. It felt like I was just going to work with friends every day. And we all loved on each other, and it just felt so warm and comfortable. And there was just so many great employee activities. And I loved the product. It was trendy, and it was cool. And everywhere I went, if I was wearing it, people always asked me about it. So even in I was in line at Disneyland one time, and someone's like, "Ooh, what's that?" And so I actually took it off and I gave it to them, which is so weird to think about. But so I put my whole heart into this company, and I worked. There were many times where I worked all night long. I felt like I missed part of my children's childhood. During that time period, I was there for, I guess, 3.5 years, which is a long time when you have toddlers. My kids were really young. And, I remember when I was there, we were working on the Mother's Day campaign, and we were in the conference room, and we were going around the table, and we were talking about our most fondest memories of being a mother, or, the memories you have with your mother. And I just started crying. Oh my God, it's gonna make me tear up right now just thinking about it. Okay. Felt like I was missing my family. I had no idea what my kids were doing at school. Granted, they were in preschool. Well, one was in preschool and one was in kindergarten. But I never volunteered at school. I didn't even know any of the other parents at school. I wasn't involved at all in anything that they did. I even missed my daughter's kindergarten graduation. And it was at that point that this company has literally taken over my personal life. And I wasn't done with the company at that time. I was still all in. And the company was growing very fast, and it was going through some changes, and there was an opportunity that came up, and I jumped on this opportunity, and I wrote the best job description there was for an opportunity that my department needed. And I presented it to the CEO and the, I guess she was like the chief marketing officer. And, I really put myself out there. And I was probably the most experienced designer in my department. And they ended up giving it to someone else who did not have the experience in design that I have. And I was extremely hurt because I had given them everything. And it felt like a slap in the face. And I said to myself at that point, I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this to myself? And why am I giving them everything? So it was literally a week. I went home that day and I said, I'm not going back. I can't, I'm not doing that. I went in the next day and I started packing up my desk and bringing things home little by little. My desk was pretty filled. And if you've ever worked with me, my office and my desks get very cluttered. I have lots of fun things. I like to surround myself with fun, creative things, happy things, all over the place. I'm looking at my desk now of all the crap I have. I mean, my last job, I literally needed like a U-Haul truck to leave that place. But anywho, so I went downstairs and I told the chief marketing officer, I'm done. I'm leaving. And she said, no, just hold out a week. At least just hold out a week. And I said, I don't think I can. I'm not even going to give you that. She goes, no, just trust me, hold out a week. So I literally sat at my desk and did nothing for a week. This guy, who was also basically like the CEO, came over to my department and said, we know there's people who are not happy in this company, and we don't want them here if they're not happy, so we're going to pay them to leave. And you need to give 2 weeks notice and blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay. I marched down to HR and I said, I will be leaving. I am not giving 2 weeks notice. Goodbye. And you would think after all of this, I basically like ruined my personal life for a few years, and missed out on my kids' childhood for this company. And I'm driving home and you think I would be crying because I literally left a job with 2 young children and nothing, nowhere to go after that. How am I going to make money? My family relies on my salary. So I rolled down the windows with this giant smile on my face because I was so relieved. I had this huge weight lifted from my shoulders. I blasted Dave Matthews on the radio. I don't even know what song it was. I just remember it was Dave Matthews because I love him. And I screamed on the top of my lungs, "Hello, happiness." And at that point, I was like, if I ever do anything, my business is going to be called Hello Happiness. And that's the origin of Hello Happiness design. But there's also another meaning behind it. My designs, when I design something, I do it because I want to bring happiness to whether it's a person I'm working with or a company I'm working with. I want to bring happiness to them. And, when a person comes to me and they have an idea for their business, whether maybe they're a small business and they have an idea and they say, I need a logo for my business. And, they tell me what it is. And I say, okay. And we talk and I give them a few concepts and, we go through a few revisions and finally we have the logo. I give them some designs for their stationery, their business cards. I even produce stamps, ink stamps, stickers. I give them like a whole package with their logo. The look on their faces when they open those packages to see their whole vision come to life is what gets me up in the morning. That's bringing happiness. That's you open the box and it's like, hello, happiness. And that's why my company is called Hello Happiness, because we bring the happiness.